Oh, my bad, y'all. I forgot to unmute myself. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you for the comments letting me know I was muted this entire time. But pretty much, I was just telling you to cop this book. If you haven't, you need to. If you didn't get it yesterday, if you didn't order it yesterday, you should be doing it now. If not, meet us on May 21st at our event and get it then. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that you have to unmute when you come live. Stream, y'all need to do better. We should automatically come off mute when we come into the studio. I guess I'll drop that in their feedback. But anyway, I am the team of Cherie, Queen Pen of TGI and the Diamond Writers, here for the Wednesday wind down, switching things up just a little bit. I am actually doing chapters and cocktails where I've invited the Diamond Writers, who are contributing authors to our newest publication, Valid Transparency, to share with you a little bit about their chapter and their experience in this writing process. For those of you who are not familiar with the Diamond Writers, we are a women only, women led, women owned writing collective. It is my purpose and passion to help women from all walks of life to heal through trauma or heal from trauma through storytelling. It is so important that we have a safe space to really share our stories and share what we've been through. And unfortunately, the world tells us to be quiet, to sit down. It's not that serious. You don't need to talk about that. Just go to therapy, just pray about it, just go to church. And although some of those outlets are extremely helpful, I am a firm believer that writing to release is such a great way to let go of trauma and hurt. And so that's what we did in this book. And we did it in the most transparent way. Like, this book is real and raw, and some of these stories are probably relevant to things that you've been through. So definitely go ahead and visit Amazon.com, BN.com, DiamondWriters.com, and grab your copy today. So, like I said, I am a contributing author in this book. I write in all of our Diamond Writer publications, and this one is no different. I provided a couple of different perspectives this time. Like, I didn't want to focus on just one experience, but rather several. And so my chapter is called Hidden Gems Written in the Dark. And I speak about writing this book from such a dark space in my life. How many of y'all have experienced dark seasons? Go ahead and drop, you know what I'm saying, that black heart in the comments if you've been through a dark season in life. And that's really what I wrote about, because that's where I was when we started this publication last year. I was in a really, really dark space. I was in the midst of my savage healing journey. And so you get to be a part of that with me in my chapter in this book. I am so honored to share my story next to these amazing women. I'm so grateful for their transparency and their candor. I'm really excited about their healing. I have seen their transformation. I have watched their growth and transition since we started this project a year ago. And so you're going to get to hear from them directly what that growth, what that transformation, and what that progress has been like and looked like for them. So first, before I bring out my first diamond, I need you gems, to go and share this live. Go ahead and click that share button. Click the share button. Tell them to get in here, get in here. Say, look, Tima and the ladies, the diamonds, they got some stuff to talk about. You don't want to miss it. So go ahead and click the share button. As always, once you share, comment share or write share in the comments, and I will select someone later to win a free copy of Valid Transparency. So go ahead and share the live. We're also on YouTube. So hey to our subbies. Thank you for always coming back every Wednesday. You can share it as well. I don't know how, but I'm sure you can share it. And then comment that you've shared it. And again, we will choose someone to receive a copy of our newest publication, Valid Transparency. All right, y'all. Y'all forgive me. I'm battling allergies today, so I might be looking a little swollen. Maybe have to go off camera to blow my nose. But we family, so don't judge me. All right. So are y'all ready to meet our very first diamond? Well, not meet, because she's no stranger to this platform, but I'm going to bring out a gem that I just adore. You know, I don't have no favorites, right? I don't play favorites, but I'm telling you, this sister, I love her to pieces, and she's such a gem. So where is Miss Danielle, aka Lady JA? I'm gonna go ahead and bring her out. Hey. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Look, so look, the
Hey,
first 3 minutes I was muted, but pretty much I was saying how dope this damn book is.
the
Like,
cover,
do
the
you see?
cover. We didn't have to open it yet. Just the cover.
Just the cover.
Take
Girl,
it in.
right. Let them focus in. Let them see. Let them see. But no, you're so right. And shout out to Lori Butler and to Naveen Fernando, who are our cover designers. They took me and Mel's vision and pushed it together and made magic. And
Yeah,
it's funny because I wanted it one way, Mel had her vision, and the two of them worked together and
became one. The
magic.
two
Like
became
it's
one.
freaking magic.
It is
And
dope.
so shout out to them. We are so grateful. There's so many people we can thank. We definitely want to thank the writer of our prologue. Like, oh my gosh. If you haven't
Yes,
read it yet, it's such the perfect
it
introduction,
is.
opening.
It
Like
is.
it prepares you for what this book
Is
is
to
all
come.
about. So huge
Absolutely.
thank you to Patricia Robinson for contributing our prologue. I mean, she
Hit it.
listen.
She hit the nail on the head.
Listen,
Definitely. It's the
she said, "Oh,
perfect.
what do y'all need? Oh, I got you."
That's
She knew
right.
the
That's
assignment.
exactly
Okay,
what she
it's
did.
given.
Yep.
It's given. So huge thank you to her and the rest of our team, of course, our media folks, our gym team, our Shine Squad. All of them have played such a huge role in us
Yes.
finishing this publication. But enough about that. I want to talk about you, first time author.
Did you hear
Like,
it? That was my face.
listen, I'm not, okay, let me stay in order. I got questions. Okay, I got questions. First, please introduce yourself and tell all of our gems and gents who you are and tell them about your chapter.
um, well, my name is Danielle Lawson, aka Lady J.A. My chapter is called Quiet Storm. Um, my chapter takes me through or takes the reader through a very kind of chaotic time in my life. A lot changed very quickly for me, starting with the loss of my mother while I was in college and homelessness and just navigating the major change that happened that seemed to just happen all at once. And it did.
Mhm.
And takes you into my relationship with my now husband and the arrival of my baby girl. So it just is, it was a pivotal moment for me. It was a time that really made me grow and kind of realize where a lot of my struggles were and how I was
Mhm.
masking them.
Mhm.
Um, and it just, it was a quiet storm because I felt like I was going through it alone and nobody really knew all that was happening.
Wow. Wow. And for again, I got to read it. The level of honesty and transparency. I think we live in such a world where everything is the end result. You know, you're successful, you have the husband, you have the family, you know, you have the great career, and most would just post that. Most people would just show that part to the rest of the world. But there is such significance in the story, in the storm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I took from your chapter. Like, I know you now. I had no idea what you paid to, you know what I'm saying? What it cost you to be who you are now. And so it's just amazing. You know, what was this experience like for you? You know,
Whew.
having to revisit these stories in your mind to put them on paper. What was that like for you?
I'm fighting back the tears now.
Girl, you better cry if you want to. It's us and the Shine family. They know
Woo!
us. We family.
It was it was tough. It was almost like going through it again. Um it brings back all the emotions and the thoughts and the pain, the things you've healed from and moved on from that kind of, you relive it when you're telling your story and putting it on paper, but putting it on paper was such a release, and then it being like in a book. It just is I tell my friends, they're like, how do you feel? It's like, I feel like I'm walking outside naked. Like, I just feel like I've just kind of let it all out. And,
Mhm.
I'm nervous about it being read, but I'm excited at the same time. So
Yeah.
it was a lot. It was a process for me. And sometimes I had to walk away from it and kind of come back.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you shared this. Writing books is nothing new. Hearing people's personal stories is nothing new. But
Right.
I think the level of transparency is new because we do live in a let's cover it up, let's make it
Yes.
cute, let's make it pretty. And you give us the real and the raw.
A
Like,
lot of
nah,
people
this,
play it down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you hope readers take away from your chapter in particular?
Hmm. It's going to sound cliche, but the power in forgiveness. And I
Mm,
mean real forgiveness, because I touch on having an absent father and the impact that had when my mom died and what happened during that time with him. And, I always try to play it down and dust it off. Like, I don't need him. I've been fine. But those moments come up where you just hope that person will show up for you. And when they don't, it hits different. It's a different level of reality. And I
yeah,
hate to say I was alone because there were a lot of people around me, but that's how I felt inside. I just felt like it was me dealing with this. And the
yeah,
one person I felt like should, and I kept hoping would, kept letting me down. And I just had to get to this point, even as an adult, married with kids, I had to forgive. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive him and read the chapter. I had to forgive a lot.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, I'm so grateful that you were a part of this project. I'm so grateful for your story. It fits so perfectly in the book. You also contributed a poem. And for those who do not know, this is a hybrid project. Like, y'all know, I'm all about pushing the envelope, doing what's different,
Outside the box.
outside the box, doing things the TGI transparent gym way. And so our newest publication is a really great blend of stories and poems and sonnets and haikus and whatever else is in there. It's a mixture of just our thoughts. It's the
Yeah.
things that we wanted to share with you. And we didn't want to limit ourselves to it has to be a chapter, it has to be a poem. So we created this book, which is Poetic Confessions. And so we hope that you like the uniqueness of this project, because this is volume 1, which means we got more coming for you, where we will be creating more projects like this. So Danielle, please tell the gems and gents, how can they connect with you? How can they support you? Where can they find you on social media?
My social media Instagram handle is quietstorm7_7. I'm Danielle Lawson on Facebook, and you can catch me as a diamond writer as Lady JA
Yes.
and catch that book.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so here for it. I love it. Well, Lady JA, thank you so much for your time. I know it was brief, but if y'all want to get more from her, hear more from her, y'all need to be at the event on May 21st here in ATL. We still have some tickets available. So make sure that you visit diamondwriters.com or eventbrite.com and grab your ticket, because once they're done, they're done. Okay. If you've been to a Diamond Writer event,
Don't try it.
don't try us.
Don't.
We sell out, and that's it. Okay. All right, Lady JA. Thank you so much.
Let me say this to you.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you for your vision. Thank you
Oh,
for staying steadfast and staying the course. We appreciate you. We got to love on you too.
thank you. Thank you so much. Mwah. I love you to pieces. Bye.
Bye.
That was Lady JA. One of, like I said, one of my favorite gems in the whole wide world. Listen, I don't play favorites, but if I had to make a favorites list, she definitely tops that list. It was so amazing to work with her, to write with her, to shine with her. And I'm so glad you all got to meet her tonight. But listen, come back. She is always on the Diamond Heist with the Phoenix. She's also going to be at the event on May 21st, as I mentioned. And so if you would love to have your book autographed and specifically talk about her chapter, make sure you come back. All right. Next up, no stranger to the Hustle and Shine family. Y'all know Tiffany Matthias, aka the Phoenix, and she is in the building. Hey, Cuzzo.
Hey, there
How
I
are
am.
you?
I'm good. How are you? How are
Girl,
you?
fighting allergies, fighting tears, forgetting to turn my sound on. It's Wednesday.
Garlic.
It's Wednesday.
Your cousin-in-law in the background, he said garlic. He's prone to allergies too. Garlic pills.
You
He
know,
swears by them.
I heard that, and you know what's been helping a little bit, like a little bit, is the local honey. I've been working on that local honey. I'm mad at him.
We not promoting nobody products here tonight but our own.
We promoting the book tonight. All right, Tina, look. They know you as the Phoenix.
Yes.
They know you as a hustle and shine, you know what I'm saying, host, but many of them don't really know you as the writer, as the diamond writer. So please reintroduce yourself to our gems and gents.
All right. So I am Tiffany Matthias, known to everyone as your one true Phoenix. And I am a contributing author to Valid Transparency. I was a reluctant author to Valid Transparency. Remember, initially I was like, no, I don't have the bandwidth. I can't do it this time. I'll support all of the new diamonds who are, but I'm a fall back. And then you were like, ma'am.
I was like, yeah, okay.
You said, ma'am, we get in these chapters and these poems in, but it's just not feeling right. It's missing a voice. Whose voice is it missing? I was like, whose voice is it missing? And then literally within 4 days, one day after another, dropped four individual contributions. I was like, Spirit said, girl, get the pen. And I got the pen.
Listen.
And I just did it.
Listen, and here's what's so dope. When I reached out to you and I said, Cuzzo, chapters are coming in, poems are coming in, the book is flowing, but it's missing something. I didn't even know what the something was. I couldn't articulate or even ask for what I thought was missing. But what you delivered in our elemental clearance, I'm telling you, gems, y'all want to get this book for those. The stories are amazing. The poems are inspirational, but doing the activity in the elemental clearings, it's going to get your whole life. It is giving peace. It is giving, I ain't going to talk about it. You talk about it. Tell the folks what they are and what inspires you to write those.
Okay, so for those of you who do not know what an elemental clearing is, an elemental clearing is basically a meditation that you do channeling one of the four elements, earth, air, fire, and water. And you channel the properties. Each element aligns with different parts of your body and your chakras, but you use them to get grounded and centered. And what spoke to me, literally what Spirit said when I was spoken to, was that we put out such intense work that it can be triggering to some people who are going through what we're discussing. It can be jarring and eye-opening to people who might not have known like this, like, oh, wow, I didn't know this is the type of things that women go through. And I was like, what a better way to complement these poems and stories, but ways to which after you've read something to get grounded and recentered and balanced back in yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's what it was. And I think that's why the whole thing about I didn't have the bandwidth to do it when the assignment first went out would have been because I would have attempted to write a chapter or submit some of my poetry. But that wasn't what was meant to be in this contribution. And so it wasn't until you was like, something is missing. I was like, well, I think I could put something together. And literally, like a mad woman, every morning I would get to work. I would think about it. I'd wake up once I gave the commitment because we had a deadline we had to meet. I would think about it like, okay, what element am I feeling today in my body? What is it that I want to say? And I would think about it on my commute to work, and I would get to my office. And before I opened up my computer and turned it on, before I besides saying hello, good morning to whoever was in the office, I opened up my journal and I got to writing. And I got to writing. And then once I looked at it, I did my little proofreading, my own editing, I typed it up, and I was sending them every morning. Like I get to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I was in the chat no later than 10:30, like, okay, it's sent. It's sent. And that doesn't happen as a writer until it's downloaded into you with a purpose.
Right.
Because if you operate out of I can or I shouldn't or a writer's block, nothing comes. But when I tapped into that, it was flowing. And
yes. And it's what's so dope, it's evident that you flowed from one clearing to the next. Nothing seemed rushed, nothing seemed fabricated. It didn't seem like you was trying too hard. It felt like flow reading it. Tell me how you've grown since the last book. You contributed to all 3 of the books, right? You've been a part since the beginning. You are one of our faithful diamonds, one of our loyal gems. Tell me like what this process has been like for you from one book to the next.
So not only has my professional writing just been flowing, but my personal writing and being in the mindset of like, I was discussing this morning, like whatever it is that's in your heart and in your head in that moment, when you put it down, that's the story that needed to be told in that moment. And sometimes it's only a sentence.
That's it.
That's the story, you know? And so understanding the writing process and what that really is like, and not writing to tell a story that's going to get like the most likes or the most like, this was the best story in the book, but to tell an authentic and transparent story. And that's what's happened in my writing, is that my writing is really just for the pleasure of writing. You know, we sit in spaces, and you know, we're both in HR, and you know, we always get in these spaces where they're like, oh, if money wasn't a factor, what would you do simply for the pleasure of it?
Yeah.
And I found it's writing. It's this public speaking, because truth be told, like, yes, there is some coinage that we make off of these books. There, you know, I've had one speaking event in which I was paid for, but I haven't reached the level of like that yet. So I literally do this for the pleasure of speaking. And girl, I just realized you spelled my name wrong. It's 1 T.
Oh, my fault. Thank you.
That's how
multitasking like a mug this morning.
That's how my husband's family, who are in the Virgin Islands, they still spell it. So the Matthiases who are still in the Virgin Islands, they use 2 T's, but the ones that are here in America only use 1.
I took it back to the island then.
Yes.
That was the island vibes.
Yes, the Matthias.
The Matthias. Island vibes. So, all right, Cuzzo. So look, I got to bring out the next diamond, but I want folks to be able to reach you, connect with you, support you on all the different platforms and all the different projects that you're working on. You are doing so much. You're not just the director of our Northeast operations here at the Diamond Writers. You're not just our executive producer for Hustle and Shine. You got other things going on, but I want them to connect with you and support with you. Tell them how they can do that.
Okay, so on Instagram, you can follow me. I am the number 1 _ True Phoenix on Instagram. And once you find me there, if you click that little link tree that is in my bio, it's going to take you to all the other platforms where you can find me and my work. So
y'all heard it. Click the link. Y'all heard it here. Check out those elemental clearings in the Valid Transparency book. I'm telling you, you will be blessed by them. Tiff, thank you so much for all you do, the way you shine, the way you show up for us, the way you support our growth, the way you are committed to the vision. I could not have done this without you on this team, neither of these books. So thank you so much. I'm going to bring in our next diamond in just a second. I just want to check the comments right quick. Mwah. Love you, Tiff.
Love you.
All right, folks. Look, real quick. Let me just check and see who's in here. I didn't get to say hello to anybody. I didn't get to do anything like I wanted to do because my sound was off. My allergies is kicking my ass tonight. Listen, y'all, I love y'all though. I'm so glad you're here. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I so appreciate it that you are with us tonight. Thank you for supporting. I see you, Colleen. Happy Wednesday. I see you, MV Pen. Y'all, thank y'all telling me that you can't hear me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't hear you. I mean, y'all couldn't hear me. My fault. Hey, Takara, one of our newer diamonds. Hello, beautiful. Daisha in the house. Hello, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I don't know who this love is for, but I had to show it. Shalana, I'm assuming that's for Danielle. Looking at the timestamp, that's when Danielle was still on. Gotta show you that love. That is so dope. Thank you for being here. I hope I pronounced your name right. Listen, I'm a little off tonight, y'all. Y'all been pray for me. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring out our next diamond. She is one of our newer diamonds, and I believe a first-time author. I am so excited for you all to meet her. I have gotten to know her over the last couple of months, and so I want you to get to know her as well. So I'm going to bring her out now. Where is Lena E? Lena E. Boo, is that you?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yes. Listen, ain't nobody gonna make sure ain't nobody gonna have bad sound tonight. I done messed it up for all of us. Y'all gonna make sure that sound is on.
It is storming over here, so I'm going in and out. So if I
Man,
fall
Florida
out, that's
can't
what's going
win.
on.
Y'all can't win. What is up with this weather? They doing Florida so dirty.
Yes, it is.
I am so sorry, but I'm so glad you're here. Please do me a favor. Introduce yourself to the gems and the gents. Tell them who you are and tell them a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, well, I'm Marlene, aka Lena E. My chapter is deals with overcoming heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
heartache. And it came at a point in my life when I thought I was, good. You get over the divorce, you lose the 20 pounds, you get your face right, you get your body right. I'm good. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
nobody else. But then God was like, you ain't supposed to be alone. You
Come
got to get back
on.
out there and start dating. So my chapter deals with my fears that I
Mm-hmm.
overcome while getting back into the dating world and trusting
Mm.
someone around my children.
Wow. Wow. I love it. And I got to read your chapter obviously a few times during the editing process, as well as since the book has published. I've read this book probably twice or three. No, I think I'm up to time number 3. Um, and you have such a sister girl, let me help you out tone in your chapter. And I think it's going to bless so many people because sometimes, we do well for ourselves, we get a little education in us and then we feel like we can't talk real to people. You know what I mean? And some people it go over their head and we miss the opportunity to really help, to really reach, to really edify, to really encourage because it's like, oh, she's not relatable. So I'm not going to be able to relate to her story. I felt like your story was so real and so relatable, and you gave such a dope blend of I'm a matured woman, I'm a healed woman, but I remember what it used to be like out there. And that's what I took away from it. Like, wow, like I can so relate to what she's saying because that's where I am right now in my life, trying to navigate dating, trying to, put my guard down, pull down some walls. What was this process like for you sharing all of that? All that you shared in your chapter. What was that like for you uncovering some of that?
In the beginning, I was scared because I'm like, how do you express yourself on paper? How do you let
Mm,
somebody understand what you're going through and not be a cliche? Like, I didn't want to be a repeating. I just wanted to be me. And I just
yeah,
decided when I was going to write that I was just going to be completely transparent. I wasn't going to hold anything
yeah.
back. Like, I literally put all my fears and concerns on paper because I'm
Mm.
like, somebody else is going through this, but just don't know how to say it.
Right. Exactly. That's so good. And I felt that in your words. It wasn't like, let me just dump my story on you. No, it was, let me tell you my story and then you tell me yours later. You know what I'm saying? Like that was literally, it was like conversational. I was like, do she want me to talk back to her? Like, I'm over here talking back to the page. It's like, is it my turn? Because like I'm feeling that. Um, what do you want people to take away? You shared quite a bit in your chapter, about overcoming the hurt, about, dating, about being open to, your husband now. What do you hope, though, that the readers will take from this chapter?
Basically, we're not meant to walk this earth alone. We're not supposed to be by ourselves. Yes, we're going to go through failed relationship. People are going to hurt us. But at the end of the day, get up, dust yourself off, try again. But the second time or the third time, maybe the fifth or fourth time around, do it with some wisdom and some class.
Come on, get a people a word. Come on. I know that's right. Well, look, I hope that all of you enjoy Lena E's chapter, but make sure that you connect with her. How can they do that? Tell them how they can connect with you, how they can find you.
Well, they can find me on Facebook under Marlene Edwards. Instagram, it's saying Marlene Edwards 0816, or Lena E. Well, Lena, I guess it's a -E .square.site. If I said that correctly.
I was going to say, did y'all get that? Repeat that one more time for the people in the back.
The last one, it's the Lena, like a -E .square.site.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It has been truly a joy getting to know you. You are one of our quiet gems, but when you do speak, you always have something profound and significant to say. And I so appreciate you for that. Like, a lot of us like to talk because we just like to talk, but then we really don't have nothing significant or important to say. And when you speak, it is always something that someone needed to hear, whether it's me or one of the other diamonds on the call. So thank you for the shine that you bring. Thank you for your words. Thank you for contributing to this literary masterpiece. I'm speaking it is going to be a bestseller. The cover alone is snatching people. Like, it's given. The cover is given. All right, Lena E, any last things you want to say to the gems and gents before I let you go?
Get the book, get the book, get the book.
Get the book. Y'all heard her. Get the book. All right, mama. Well, I cannot wait to see you on May 21st, where we get to really celebrate and go in. But until then, you know what it is. You continue to write and shine. Mwah. Love you. All right, folks, I got more for you. I have more diamonds coming for you. I'm going to run back to these comments real quick and make sure if there was any love in there for Lena that she gets to see it. Jessica is here. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica, for dropping that for her. We so appreciate you. Look, Lena E. Tiara is giving you your flowers. Mwah. Hey, Tiara. That is one of our newer diamonds. Daisha says, come on, sis. I can't wait to read your chapter. Listen, it's lit. It's like that. It blessed me. I was talking back to the pages like, what now? Like, it is just that good. So look, I got a special one coming out. She's definitely not a stranger to Hustle and Shine. The gems and the gents know her well. Y'all love her here. And even though she be bringing y'all the truth and sometimes it hurts, y'all still love her. Y'all rock with her. And so where is my MV pen? Mel V. Hey. You got the book. Where the book at? Okay.
Get it. That's all I gotta
Get
say.
it. If you haven't, you need to. Hey, beautiful.
Hey, how are you? I am, I don't know. I got all kind of.
What's all kind of different emotions?
Yeah, like I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm like happy.
Yeah.
It's all kind of emotions. Like my cheeks hurt. Like
from
seeing
smiling, right?
Yes, seeing all my diamonds, all our new diamonds. Like, I
know.
Like,
it's
praise dancing here.
Right. It's given. And I listen, I had a pep talk with myself. I said, you will not cry today. There will be no tears tonight.
No tears.
No tears. We are like just celebrating. So look, I know that the Hustle and Shine family know you. I know that the gems and gents are acquainted with you. My VP, my right hand, gets it done. Okay. The diamonds love you. The gems love you. I couldn't make it without you. But tell the people who are new, the new subbies, the visitors, who you are, and tell them a little bit about your chapter and all the poems. I gotta tell you, she dropped multiple poems in here for y'all. Go ahead.
Listen, well, if you don't know, you're about to know. No. I'm Mel V, the MV Pen, VP of Diamond Operations, serial entrepreneur, speaker, poet, author, philanthropist. chef, baker, listen, whatever, shoe designer,
Right. Right.
whatever gets these coins.
That part. But tell them about your chapter and your inspiration for all the poems that you submitted in this project.
Absolutely. So my chapter is called Now I See Me, Now You Don't. And a lot of people was like, is that a typo? It is not. So often we go through life where we're visible to everybody else but ourselves. And so throughout my chapter, I talk about different phases in my life, from um, being overweight and from a kid, and the struggles that I went through with that, and feeling like I didn't have much to offer, or that I was limited, to um, feeling like, all I was what was between my legs, and that was it. And from that to love, and or the misconception of love, or feeling like nobody sees me, but realizing that the reason why people don't, or people see me but they don't see me.
Mm.
And the biggest reason was because I didn't see me. And so throughout journeys and processes and discovery and healing, and getting to a point of physically no longer wanting to be here, and getting that second chance in life, and realizing I just got to see me. Like, who cares who else sees me? Who cares what everybody else thinks of me? It's time for me to see me and understand and figure out who I was and what I liked and what made me happy. And so now I see me, and you might not.
Right. And guess what? And that's okay.
That's
And that
perfectly okay.
that is perfectly okay.
It is.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
There's a couple of poems that you contributed. Of course, I have like two favorites.
Okay.
That I've read like 100 times. Like Black Excellence is like my favorite.
Okay.
Like, that's my number one favorite. And then
Okay.
Queen. When y'all read Queen, okay, just drop some comments. Just drop comments on Amazon. Drop comments on the Diamond Writer page when y'all read Queen.
Yeah. I mean, poetry is my first baby. Like, I've been writing poetry since I could write, literally. I mean, I started writing, little poems, sonnets, whatever, when I was like 6, 7 years old. So I've been writing poetry forever. So that was like my first literary baby.
Yeah.
And so this book was like, all right, you want poems too? Like, how many you want? Like how many you need? I got you.
Right.
But Black Excellence, funny enough, that poem I wrote when I launched my scholarship program. And so with my scholarship program, I launched something called the Black Excellence Gala. And so I wrote that piece as my opening to the gala. And just shining, the light on everything that is us. Like, we are Black excellence, no matter where you fall, no matter where you fall on the color spectrum, no matter where you fall on the life spectrum, like, we are Black excellence, so that's where that came from. And then Queen was actually inspired by another poem that I read, but it was kind of more for women as a whole. And I was like, okay, I like this poem, but what can I do with this kind of vibe and the diamonds and the gems, and how can I take this and make this for us? And it was like, listen, there's all kind of gems. It's not just the diamond. We got rubies and sapphires and amethysts and all garnet and all kind of stuff, and they all have their own significance in the spectrum. But we're all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the poems are amazing, and you joined us in year 2. So you came just before Beneath the Crown and jumped right in. It was super significant in your contributions, not just in that book, but overall to the Diamond community when you came in. How have you grown since then? Like, what do you recognize about yourself as a writer, as a leader, as a Diamond between the two projects?
I'm just a bit more self-discovered. I think I remember when you were doing Pretty Broken, and you was like, so Mel, and I was like, I don't know. And you kept saying, you was like, listen, sis, you got stories to tell. It's time to come on. And so when Beneath the Crown came around, I was like, all right, I'm gonna step out, because it's hard sometimes to want to face yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like even in Beneath the Crown, I was still struggling to see myself.
Wow.
So I was still in that journey of figuring out myself outside of other people.
Yeah.
So I think now, still a journey, and I don't think that journey ever ends. You know, especially for people who find joy in life in serving others and giving others. You can struggle with losing yourself in others.
Yeah.
So it's a journey, but I think I am now much more secure in the woman that I am now, and my path and my purpose, and you know, a little less concerned with what other people have to say, think, or feel.
That part, that is the most liberating thing. Listen, I'm here for it. And again, like I've said this to you before, I say this on our one-on-one, you know, as prez and vice prez, I'm always telling you, but I literally could not do this without you. It's crazy how I even got through the first year. I'm like, how the hell did I do this the first year without her? Because I'm like, what? But you contribute in such a way that is unmatched. I've never seen anyone support someone the way you support me and the Diamonds. Like, you go hard for us. Like, you don't play
You
about it.
wasn't crying today. Like, come on.
No, I'm not gonna make you cry. I'm not
trying to
gonna
get
make you
these
cry.
tears? Like,
I'm not, but you deserve your flowers. And so, to all my diamonds and all my gems who know Mel and know her hard work, go ahead and drop those flowers and those diamonds in the comments. But you truly serve unconditionally. You don't ask for nothing in return. You don't need no accolades, no shout out, no reel about you. You don't need none of that. And you show up for us week after week, book after book. And I literally could not do this without you. Like, I'm legit like, God, how did the first book come out? Because I didn't have this level of support and sister by my side. And so just thank you for all that you do to make me a better leader, a better woman, a better writer, and make these diamonds shine. You really help them heal. And that's what this is all about. I built this to help women heal. And I had no idea God was sending another bomb. And that is what you do. And I'm not going to cry, damn it.
I'm like, listen, stop it. I keep looking down and looking up, like,
not going to do it. But I literally thank God for you. I know I said it when I released my personal project. I'm saying it again because people need to know, when you commit yourself to something and you ask God to guide you, He doesn't just guide you, He sends you people. He sends you really dope people who truly want to be a part of what you're doing. She ain't never tried to change the direction of this movement. She ain't never tried to take over. She has served from day one. And I could not be more grateful for you. I swear to God, y'all hearing it on Hustle and Shine. Y'all gonna hear it again on the 21st. Y'all gonna hear it as many damn times I want to say it. I could not do this without her. Could not. So when you see the Queen pen, know that the MV pen is right there doing just as much. And I could not do it without you. So thank you for every word that you put in this book, for every soul that will be touched, every heart that will be blessed because of your transparency. Your poems bless me. So I know they're going to bless others. And yeah, that's it before I cry. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
How can the people reach you?
You're not going to be the only one that's giving thanks right now. So go ahead, get your tissue. But no, first of all, thank you for that recognition, acknowledgement. I can say is that I needed you as much as you needed me. And so this is not one-sided. I thank you and I appreciate you for your vision. I appreciate you for even trusting me with your vision as much as you do. And just for all that you do. I mean, girl, we outside of Diamonds, outside of President VP, like, our sisterhood is it. Like, I'm 10 toes down. Like, I will cut somebody for you. Okay. They'll get
same.
Okay.
Quick. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I can say is, like, honestly, as much as you commend me for what I do and how much I support you, I couldn't do that and be in that space without you being who you are. And so I'm like, girl, I'm out. I'm done. All right.
So how can people reach you?
You can follow me on Instagram at her_the_MVP. So her_the_MVP. You can catch me on Facebook at Melly Mel. You can catch me online at www.mvpdbg.com and on the diamondriders.com, obviously.
Yes.
And once a month on Wednesdays on Truth Hurts at the Hustle and Shine podcast.
Right here.
And then wait, you can catch me on May 21st.
I was just going to go there.
At the Diamond Standard, coming in with the diamonds, and then also I get the pleasure of being one of your gem coaches. So
y'all don't want to miss that. I promise. You
Come
don't
on.
want to miss that. Listen.
So yeah, you can catch me anywhere. I'm everywhere.
Yes. Look, and they can catch us this weekend because she coming here this weekend because we always about this business. We'll be here this weekend in Atlanta. Catch us in these Atlanta streets. In the streets.
In the
Not
streets.
for the streets.
Right. In the streets. Not for the streets.
In the streets, not for the
and
streets.
And we're not in all the streets. We in selected streets.
Okay. The classy streets. Okay. Well, Mel, thank you so much. You ruined my makeup. I so appreciate it. I love you to
You do it to me all the time.
I am likely going to call you after the broadcast tonight, but we got a couple more diamonds that I want to chat with. And we're running out of time. Y'all don't mind if we go over tonight, do y'all? Y'all don't mind. Thank you, Gems. All right, Mel.
Love y'all. Love y'all diamonds. Love y'all gems and gents.
See y'all. In just a moment, I am going to bring out our next diamond who wrote such an impactful chapter in this book, but I just want to run to the comments. Listen, I apologize. We are running over. Y'all know we only got an hour, but we are going to go over because I want all of these diamonds to share with you. And so if you can stick around with us, please do. We would so appreciate it. I see all of this. Hey, Chris J. Hey, that is one of our legacy diamonds. We miss you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Shell Mack, one of our diamond leaders. This is a real example of women supporting women. Wow, love you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. Daisha, one of our diamonds, says, love it. We love you. You better know it. We love you. Erica, hello. Erica says, love is sisters uplifting each other. We have to. We have to. Here's some love for you, Mel. The ladies are dropping those flowers that you so deserve. All these diamonds. All of this is for you. Colleen says, Mel is one of a kind. Love her to pieces. And whole again. Yes, we do. Thank you so much. That was my MV pen, my VP. Literally could not do this thing without her. I swear for Lord. But I'm going to bring out our next diamond. I'm so excited to introduce you to all of her. I don't think any of you have had the pleasure of meeting her. So you get to now. You get to right now. So where is Suma Leon? Did I pronounce that right? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
I have not seen you since DC.
I know.
How are you?
So long. How are you, beautiful? I'm so honored to be here and looking forward to seeing all of you again in Atlanta. I finally purchased my ticket, so I'm excited.
May 21st. May 21st.
Absolutely.
Yes.
May 21st.
We cannot wait to see you. We are going to love on you. We miss you so much.
Thank you.
But you wrote, oh my gosh, your chapter made me cry during editing. I was reading it during editing and was bawling. So please, I've done enough crying tonight. I ain't gonna cry no more. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your chapter.
Okay, sure. So my name is actually Philia Suma is my birth name. Philia Nekwe is what everyone knows me as. And the reason why I went with Suma Leone is because my parents are from Sierra Leone. So Suma being my maiden name, my father has passed, my only sister has passed, and it's just myself and my mom. And I said that
in order to not to relinquish my name, I need to bring it back. So I went with Suma Leon. So that's my pen name. So my chapter is called Her Story, His Story, and the Truth. So there are 3 parts. I wrote this because I was physically or sexually abused by my godfather at the age of 12. And that chapter talks about the abuse from my side of the story and his side of the story, but then there's always the truth. And the reason why I wrote that chapter in that way is because forgiveness, we always say forgiveness is not for the person, it's for, is for you. Yeah. But when my godfather died, he never apologized to me. And that's when I really understood what that meant, because I was holding on to hoping that one day he will apologize for taking my innocence at such an early age. And growing up in a family from Sierra Leone or West Africa, it's that culture of sweeping things under the rug, not because they didn't know, not because I haven't told them in many ways, but the shame in acknowledgement that as parents, they did not protect their own daughter. They kind of pretended that it never happened. So I think that dysfunction led me to have dysfunctional marriages and live in the marriages and took abuse from men that I knew wasn't good, but I didn't know how to circumvent it because I lived in a household where my parents knew things were going on and they didn't do anything about it. So on May 3rd, God willing, I'll be 50, and it's taken me all this time to finally get it. Yeah. And that's why I wrote that chapter in that way. So people can also understand that even bad people have people who still love them. And I think writing it from his perspective was actually easier, because it made it, it was, for me, it was like, let me see what he could have been thinking of, why he did what he did. What is the excuse? Because people always wonder why pedophiles do what they do. So let me try to go into a mind of a pedophile. What is it that they're seeing in a small girl or young girl that makes them think that it's okay? And I wrote it for people to say, maybe he thought that I was in love with him. Maybe he thought that I wanted him. And that's why I wrote it that way. So hopefully when everybody reads it, they'll understand it in that context. So thank you.
I pray so. And there's so much healing that's evident. Like, you didn't just tell us a story. You told us a story, and then you gave where you are now, like how you've done the work over the years. And to me, that was so significant because so many of us get stuck. Right. So many women get hurt in that way. You know what I mean? And they're no longer vulnerable. They don't trust anyone. They don't open themselves up for love. They don't want to be, transparent the way that you have. Right. And so toward the end of your chapter, you offer so much to say, sis, if this is you, if you've been through this too, here's what you can do to heal. And like I said, your story it humbled me in so many ways, but it made me so open to want to help women who have been through what you've been through. Thank you. And I'm grateful that you trusted this story to this book. Thank you for being a part of this project, because we needed you to tell this story, because we have no idea who's going to pick this book up and need everything that you said. Thank you for that. I know this was your first time writing with us. So what was this process like for you? Like, tell me, how was it reliving that and kind of recollecting and recalling those memories back to mind?
I think in the title, because I know that when I came in, I believe that you guys had just finished Beneath the Crown. So when we were talking since last year about valid transparency, I'm like, I have so many things that I have been through in my life. And I was wondering which one would have been the most significant, because every part of our life dictates who we are. It defines who we are, our character. Our struggles make us who we are. So I was wondering, where did the dysfunction start for me? And what was that valid transparency? And I had to take it back. And I felt that I could talk about any part of my life, but I always feel that had that dysfunction not occurred, I feel like my wings would not have been clipped, or I felt like I could have spread my wings at an earlier age. I felt stunted for a long time, because it's understanding that people can say they love you, but in the way they love you, and understanding people's love languages and understanding what that means. I think I needed to go all the way back there. So it was therapeutic and cathartic in a sense, because it made me really realize that, wow, I've really overcome this. Like, it doesn't cripple me in the way it has, and it makes me see people for who they are, and I'm still able to trust, but I'm smarter about it. In the way I protect my daughters, I see things before they happen, and I talk to my daughter saying, I will always believe you. Don't ever be afraid. If someone, whether it's uncle or grandpa or a friend or even your own brother, it's like people can violate you in different ways, even teaching them about proximity and personal and business space and what that means. And even my 7-year-old, if she's in the bathroom, her 12-year-old brother cannot go in the bathroom. It doesn't matter that she's a little girl, because you have to respect her as a 7-year-old little girl, So I think it just helps me navigate things differently, teach my kids the things that my parents didn't teach me, and also make them recognize that I will always believe you first. So don't ever feel that mommy would never take your side, and to also trust the process.
Thank you for that. That's so good. There is so much there. And I really do hope, if you have not yet already, that you get your hands on this book. Buy it for someone who has gone through something similar. There is so much healing, words of encouragement, inspiration, like a lot of transparency that makes you just really look at self. It makes you kind of go inward, like, have I been through something similar? Am I going through something similar? And have I begun to heal? I wrote in my chapter, after reading yours, you pulled a memory out of me that made me go back and edit a part of my chapter.
I'm honored.
That's how powerful your story is, where I was like, you know what? I am stuck here. I didn't free myself here yet. I didn't give myself permission to heal here. And that was from reading your chapter. And I pray that happens for someone else. So please tell our gems and gents, how can they reach you? How can they connect with you after today?
Yes, thank you so much, Natima. I'm very honored to hear that. Thank you, because that's really why we do what we do. If we can impact one soul, we've done our job. So I pray that somebody could be impacted in that way. So thank you for that. I'm honored.
Yes, my pleasure.
So you can find me. I have a religious podcast now. I found Jesus 3 years ago. I was Muslim for several years. Not that that's any indicative to Muslims, but my family's Muslim. But once I found Jesus, I think that was the process for me to find the kind of healing that I was looking for. So my podcast is called Treading Faith. And you can find that on Instagram at treadingfaith.captivate.fm. And that's my podcast. Also on my Instagram, you can find me at Suma Leone Inc. That's SUMALEONEINC. And yes, and I'm looking forward to doing so much more. And again, honored to just be part of such an amazing group of sisters and family members. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Thank you for your story. Thank you for speaking life into this book. Thank you for all that you've shared. And thank you for being here with us tonight. I cannot wait to see you in May. If I overhug you, just say, Tina, it's a lot. Like y'all know I'm a hugger, so if I'm doing too much, just let me know.
You're never too much.
Thanks so much for tonight. I got a few more diamonds to bring out, but make sure you stick around. Join us in the comments, and until next time, continue to write and shine.
Bye, my love. Bye, baby. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
Man, are y'all enjoying this as much as I am? Listen, I got 3 more diamonds, and then I promise we're gonna let y'all go. But just stick around with us. Please continue to drop some love, some gems, some flowers in the comments for them. You have no idea how hard it is to tell your story for a story that's going to be available for public consumption. Y'all talk about celebrities and how they live, and people get to comment on their life. Can you imagine telling such an intimate and significant story of your own with everybody to read and consume and come to their own conclusions or interpretations, that takes courage. That takes a lot of courage. And so I'm so proud of these women, and I just hope that you will continue to show them love in the comments. So next, I'm going to bring out Daisha. Daisha has written with us before, and so she is no stranger to the Diamond Writers platform, but I'm going to bring her out and let her tell y'all about herself anyway. Where is Miss Daisha P? Hello, love.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for waiting patiently backstage. I so appreciate you. I know we are way off schedule. So thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. Tired, but good. It's storming here, so my connection is kind of It's the weather. So
yeah.
So that's
Lena E was dealing with bad weather in Florida. Mel's had bad weather, so definitely appreciate you pushing through to be here. I will not keep you long, but I just need everyone to hear more about your chapter. So first off, tell the people, the gems and the jits who don't know you, who you are, and then share with us a little bit about your chapter.
All right. Well, my name is Daisha Parker Lewis. I go by Daisha P or Miss Fine Point. Mother of one, actually waiting to get her from practice. They got practice until 9 tonight. Weird, but okay. But my chapter is The Purpose in an Unplanned Pregnancy. It's, life happens, and it happens to everybody, whether you want it to or not. Yeah. So growing up, everyone that knows me knew I never wanted kids. I really didn't even like them. Go figure. And I was a teacher. How about that for irony, right?
Right.
Students didn't know that because I mean, those are my first babies outside of my nephew. So those were my babies. They never knew that I didn't like kids because I didn't show that. Like that was my love whenever I would get to work. Yeah. But I could say that when I first found out that I was pregnant, it took me by surprise. It really shouldn't have, because the precautions weren't there. But I was always the one that did everything by the book in the family. I'm the youngest of 3 and the only girl. So I was always the brunt of, if my brothers did something, well, what if someone did this to your sister? What if? So growing up with that in my background and just hearing that all the time, when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm about to disappoint the family because, I'm the one, I'm always on the straight and narrow. So I didn't even want to tell my parents that I was pregnant. When I found out, I was actually in my 2nd trimester when I found out. So I was like 4 going on 5 months when I found out. I was so ashamed to tell my parents that I told my dad via text. That's how I was just like, I didn't want to tell him. It's like, oh my gosh, like what are they going to think? What are they going to say? Like I've disappointed them. So yeah, I told him by text, and how ironic, I was on my way to Bible study. So he called. I didn't even answer the phone call. I let it go to voicemail and listened to it when I got out of Bible study. And so I know in my chapter, I talk about having a village. So like the first person I actually told was my godmother that lived there in Maryland. And she was just like, well, are you okay? I'm like, no. I didn't even know if I wanted to keep the baby. That's how I really didn't want to say anything. Little did I know that she would be the one that actually saved me. So when I say the purpose in an unplanned pregnancy, like I said, she actually saved me and I didn't realize it. And so just with writing this chapter, just like with the last one, with co-parenting and Beneath the Crown, it brought up feelings that I thought that I was actually over. And I was like, I guess I really didn't deal with that because, man, this is like rough. Like writing it out and, just saying how I felt when I found out that I was pregnant and, those that were around me, you could tell that those who really supported you because they still stayed around and gave that support. So she has plenty of aunties and uncles that aren't blood, which that really doesn't matter. I mean, y'all are her diamond aunties. So,
that's right. Yes.
So with this chapter, it's just, you have to go through those range of emotions. And I even put in the chapter that, you won't be the first and you're definitely not the last that will experience this.
Right.
Although when you're going through it, it seems like, man, I'm the only one that has ever dealt with that. And that's how I felt
Right.
at the time, especially being the one where your parents are always like, well, what if someone did this to your sister? What if this happened to your sister? What if, I'm just like, man, can y'all like leave me alone? Why do I always have to be like the
Right.
man,
Right.
part of everything that they're doing?
Mhm.
So I hope that when people read the chapter, that they see that, one, you're not alone. Like, people have gone through this before. I didn't know how much journaling actually helped with the healing process until
Come on, talk. Mhm.
Because so when I wrote Beneath the Crown, my chapter in Beneath the Crown on co-parenting, even then, although my ex-husband and I are not together anymore, it was just things I was just like, oh, I'm over that. I'm over that. He's remarried. Me and his wife actually get along. We get along very well. But it
Yeah.
was just things in our relationship that I thought I was over that I really didn't realize that, okay, it was just masked until the journaling. And even with this chapter, I'm just like, oh, I thought I was healed from that.
Right.
Like digging up those issues and going through that process, it's just like, okay, I guess I wasn't over that. And so journaling helped me a lot. And even with this, it's still helping.
Yeah.
Even getting counseling, but like you said in the very beginning, sometimes you need a different outlet. And journaling, if you are not journaling, journal. Right?
Get to it.
Right? Right? I mean, I even have my daughter doing it now.
Yes.
With her, because even like with everything that they've gone through with the pandemic, it's just like, right, I have her write out everything. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, right, just write it out. Because even she went through a period of depression with the pandemic. I'm just write it out.
That's right. Yeah.
And so writing for this, it also helped me with my journaling. Even on my Instagram page, how like they have the little videos, who saved you and didn't know it, so I did that particular one and I have my daughter there as
I saw that.
And she was like, huh? I was like, yeah, you did. Like at that particular moment, she did. Like, I didn't know I was in a dark space, although I was, living my life, having fun, but I guess a part of me was in a dark place, and I didn't realize that until after I had her. And here we are 15 years later. I still don't believe I have a 15-year-old. But it's just like, I can see how it actually saved me from myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, because you made a point earlier. You said, pregnancy is not uncommon, right? It's nothing new. We're going to see it for decades, centuries. We're going to continue to see it. But I think what's so significant about your story is not even just, it being unplanned. And like you say, your daughter saving you. It's the pressure that comes with being perfect for our family, and how pregnancy can disrupt that and really take us back to self. And that's what I pulled from your chapter. It was like, this pregnancy was actually your freedom to no longer have to live based on what they wanted you to do with your life. And so I pulled so much more than just, your daughter saving you, which is evident in your chapter, and it's amazing. But there was so much more to your words. Like, I was free from their expectations, even though to them I made a mistake. It's so much more in this chapter. And this is why y'all have to get this book and read read these pages and read between the lines, because there's so much liberation there. And it really does make you revisit your own experience with pregnancy, and telling people like that should have been a joyous moment, but it was fearful. And how many women go through that? Like, I'm supposed to be happy and excited, but I'm terrified. And so I just so appreciate you sharing that, and bringing bringing so much truth to this story, because many of us face it, right? And it shows up in how we interact with our kids, how we interact with their fathers, simply because we're still carrying that shame. We're still carrying that disappointment. Like, oh, my parents are still disappointed in me. And she's 15, so thank you for that. in addition to what you've already shared, is there anything else you would like the readers to take away from your chapter? I know I just kind of spilled what I took away from it, but anything you want them to take from the chapter as well?
Just, go through your emotions. Don't try to hold them in. Just go through them. I held mine back, and that was like an issue. So it really, didn't help me heal the way that I really needed to, or what I thought I was healing from. So go through, because you will experience a range of emotions. Go through each one of them.
Yeah.
Accept those emotions for what they are.
Yeah.
It's not a mistake. You're not a failure. It happens, and just know that you have people out there that will be rooting for you.
Yeah.
And everything. So you find you a village, and it doesn't necessarily have to be family.
That part.
Because you may find your village outside of your immediate family. And so, cling to that village.
Yeah.
Let those help that want to help out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that advice. And of course, last but certainly not least, please tell the people how they can reach you, how they can connect with you, and how they can support you.
I'm on Facebook as Diisha Parker, Diisha Parker. And then on Instagram and on Twitter, I'm at Diisha_5WNDRDST. And it's the same for Twitter and Instagram.
Excellent. And I don't know if you see that I have my poster board back
I was just thinking I'm gonna have to add valid transparency to it.
Yes, this was a lovely gift you gave me last year after we released Beneath the Crown. I love this. I usually have it up here on my wall where I can see it, but I had to showcase it tonight because I knew you was going to be on. Thank you so much. You have been down with us, for the past 2 years. You continue to show up, you continue to pour, you continue to serve. And I'm just so grateful. I remember when we were renewing our membership and we were sending out April, actually, shout out to April. She was sending out the communications, who's staying, who's not. And I remember saying, please let her be one of the ones that come back. I swear to you, I was like, please let her be one of the ones that return. And you did, and you delivered in this book. And I'm so grateful. I can't wait to celebrate with you on May 21st.
Y'all get your tickets.
You're gonna be here in Atlanta, y'all. Get them tickets May 21st. Well, all right, Diisha, you already know my line that I always tell my diamonds after every call. Continue to write and shine, and I will see you soon. Mwah.
Mwah.
All right, y'all. I got one more. I think I got one more that is coming out to chat with you and share all about her chapter. Thank you so much. Oh, nope. I got two more diamonds. Look, it's a treat tonight. And then I promise you we will be out of your way. Thank you for riding with us, sticking with us. I know we went over time, but if you cannot stay for the entire broadcast, make sure that you come back and catch the replay so you don't miss these last 2 interviews. But I'm going to make it quick. Where is Miss Jessica? Jessica Newman. Hey there.
Hey, Tina.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, girl. I'm tired.
We're going to make
But I'm so glad to be here. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Yes, no complaints. No complaints. We got too much good stuff happening.
Yes.
Look, so I know you've been here before. I know they've seen you on the show before. But please introduce yourself and tell the gems and gents about your chapter.
I am Jessica Newman, the culture keeper and the Southeast director of the Diamond Writers. The name of my chapter is Parental Remorse. It took a minute to get that title too, but my chapter is talking about my relationship with each one of my children. So I go through from my first to my last child and also my bonus child, and just talk about how when I became a mother, I did not want to be a mother. But because society says you're a woman and that's what you're supposed to do, instead of having an abortion, I decided to keep my child, and I had some parental remorse from the beginning. So my chapter just goes through those feelings and those adjustments that I had to go through with each child. And it wasn't until my last child that I realized that it's okay to not want to do what society tells you you're supposed to do, and that I shouldn't live with regrets of feeling the way that I felt. I shouldn't feel guilty for having those feelings or shameful for saying out loud that I did not want to be a mother. Now I go through all of that, and in the end, I explain how I'm thankful and blessed to be a mother, and that my goal is to always make sure my kids know how much I love them. But I had to be honest with them. And before I even wrote the chapter and sent it in, I sat down with each one of my kids and told them exactly how I felt.
Wow.
And what I wrote in the chapter. And that was the most emotional day. My daughter cried and everybody cried. And it was like, I never expected that reaction, because I thought they were going to be upset to hear that I say that I didn't want them. And they were like, Mommy, we love you. Like, I'm glad that you're our mom. So it was such a healing process to go through, right? And being so transparent and being honest with myself and with my kids about how I felt.
Yeah. And we've had conversations, offline. We've talked, because I've gone through those same things, those same emotions, like just admitting I didn't want, you know what I'm saying, to be a mom. Like that, I never grew up. What do you want to be when you grow up? A mother. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? And so you're right. Society does not provide a safe space for us to share how we really feel. Everybody tells you you're wrong for feeling that way. You shouldn't say that. That's not there. They didn't ask to be here. And we know that, right? But you cannot heal if you don't admit there's a problem. AA requires it. Any 12-step program for recovery requires you to admit you have a problem. Salvation requires you to admit that you're a sinner, right? So admittance and confessing something is clearly the beginning of healing. And so I'm so grateful for your chapter, because it truly was a permission slip for me to say, okay, I'm not the only one who's had these thoughts. And again, love my babies, but never really set out to do that in life. Motherhood was not on my list, right? And so I just am so grateful that, one, you healed with your children. Like you, and it's evident in the chapter. It's all through through your chapter, about those exchanges and those conversations you had with your kids. Because sometimes parents treat their children in a way that they didn't want them and don't ever heal from it. You know what I mean? You have adults in relationships with parents, they don't get along. And it's simply because the mother never wanted to be a mom, or the dad never wanted to be a dad. And so I just applaud you for healing with your children and your family, and giving yourself the room to be honest and say, I got to work on this, right? Because you don't feel that way no more, right? But there was a time. So you were a part of Beneath the Crown. That's when you joined the Diamond Writers. And you were a star out the gate. Like, you and Danielle came busting into the Diamonds like, I'm here, I'm shining, do something, right? Tell me what the transition has looked like between Beneath the Crown and now Valid Transparency. What did that journey look like for you?
Well, when I first started with Beneath the Crown, the background story. I was just trying to find my voice. I just wanted to be heard. I just wanted, you hear me now, was the whole theme, through the writing process. And as I found my voice, I found me. I found who I was. I started to look in the mirror and was like, okay, Jess, you are a good person. You are a good mother. I started to believe in myself. And then when you was like, okay, guys, we're going to do Valid Transparency, I was like, well, how much deeper can I get? Like, I thought we were deep enough with Beneath the Crown. But the journey from Beneath the Crown to Valid Transparency allowed me to see myself the way I should have always seen myself, as a powerful, strong, Black, educated, smart, loving, kind person. And before the Crown, I couldn't even speak of myself in that manner. So I grew up, I became this woman that I never thought I could ever be. Like, I just the other day, I was just some little girl from Queens who like to write poems, you know, and I never thought I would have the opportunity for my words to be in a book. Not just
Wow.
one book, but two. So it's like it was so much growth and
Yes.
so much validation of who I really was. And I'm so appreciative of I'm not gonna be all emotional, but
No, y'all got me already crying. It's enough. I had enough.
seeing something in me that I didn't even see in myself, you know, and giving me that space and that opportunity to tell the world, like, I'm not just that little girl from Queens. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And I'm so glad that I took the opportunity to put my words on a paper and turn it into a book that now not just not just myself can heal, but other women can heal from it. So the journey was worth it. Every tear shed, every late night bathroom writing, everything that I went through, the growth, the pain, just the honesty, it was all necessary. And my hope is that someone else takes up this book and read it and know that their story, their words, they matter. And not be afraid to share it, because someone else needs to hear how you made it through. And I just hope that people see that it's okay. Like, you can go through stuff, you can be honest with yourself, but you're gonna make it through. So
that's right.
That was the journey for me, from beneath the crown to valid transparency.
Come on, growth. Come on, growth. And you and Daisha just spoke on the power of journaling. And for those of you who have not yet become a diamond, okay, I'm speaking it, you're gonna be a diamond. I constantly push journaling. That I drive the diamonds crazy. You have to release, because you're not going to heal and you're not going to recall your story if you don't journal. And so there you have a third, fourth testimony of the power of journaling. It's so significant, and I'm so glad. Your growth is just amazing. Any diamond, we're always talking about you and how much you've grown since finding your voice, and how much courage it took for you to say, no, I'm doing this for me. I'm going to find my voice. And now you found your voice. And you said, now I'm going to tackle the next issue that I've kept buried in me all these years. And that takes tremendous courage. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm so, so proud of you, Jay. I'm telling you, like, I ain't gonna have you crying tonight. I'm not doing it. Listen, I'm gonna save all these tears for the 21st, because I ain't gonna be on nobody's camera. I can run and hide. But just do me a favor and tell the gems and gents what you hope they take away from this. I mean, you shared so much, but specifically, is there anything in particular you're like, if you don't take nothing else, I hope this goes with you after reading my chapter?
After you read my chapter, I hope that the biggest takeaway is that it's okay to be true and honest. You should never be ashamed, never be afraid. This was the deepest, darkest secret that I had, besides what I wrote in Beneath the Crown about my marriage. And it was so freeing to say it out loud. Like, I never said it out loud until the day I wrote it in my journal. And it just allowed me to, like, take a deep breath and be okay with myself. So just be honest, be true, because what matters at the end of the day is your truth. People may judge me, people may say, how can you say that, but it's my truth. That's all I have at the end of the day. You may not like my truth, but if I don't tell my truth, then I'm not doing myself any justice.
Period. I love it. So look, you got some comments. I just had to show you. Our VP says, Jessica, you matter. And we are so glad you are here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's so much love in these comments for you. So please make sure you go back and read all of them. But tell the people, how can they reach you? How can they get in contact with you? How can they support you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jessica M. Newman. I'm on Instagram at JessNew12. And of course, I am a fabulous diamond writer, and you can see me on May 21st in ATL at the Diamond Standard event.
Absolutely. You better cop this. Come with it. I loved it. Well, Jay, look, You already know how I feel about you. You are my heart. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you are continuing to shine with us, continuing to share your stories, and you in leadership, just influencing and listen, empowering, and I'm here for it. But as always, like I tell my diamonds, y'all know, continue to write and shine. Mwah, I love you. I will see you soon. Good night. Thank you. All right, listen, we are down to the last, and I promise it is certainly not the least. I'm so grateful for her patience and for her being here tonight. This is how many of y'all used to run track or know anything about track? If you know anything about track, you had a 4x4, you had an anchor, you had that last runner that finished the race and helped us to finish strong. And that is exactly what this diamond has done for this book. She was the anchor and she closed out this book with magnitude. Oh my gosh, you are going to be blessed. Let me bring out none other than the gentle my Dana, Miss Sam Moore. Hello.
Hi, How are
Jen
you?
and Dana, honey. Look,
Oh,
before we anything, we was Jen and Dana. Okay.
that's right. That's right. Having these conversations about what we want to do, just like manifesting what we're doing now. So God is good.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad. Well, first off, thank you for your patience. You know I don't ever do nothing on time. I done sent y'all a schedule. Schedule ain't mean nothing tonight. Like
It's all right.
schedule where.
It's all right.
Thank you for bearing with me and
Of
allowing me to
course.
talk to all of our sisters and bringing you out. You are last but certainly not least. So please introduce yourself and tell us about your chapter.
Okay, my name is Samantha Moore. Everyone calls me Sam, and my chapter is called Soul Remission. And it actually materialized from a conversation that Tima and I were just having about, as women, I feel like we need permission. Like, as crazy as it sounds, because as much like we give life, but we also need permission to live life. And it's wild to think that as powerful as we are, we really do allow other people to hold that power and to really be able to sit in knowledge that we're given, resources that we're given, create and craft time to actually sit and apply it in our life, like examine it, analyze it, remember it, and apply it is something that we do not give ourselves time to do. And that is so, like, it really does like halt not only our growth, but generations to come. You know, our kids are looking at us. I look at like parental wounds that I've had to deal with from my own parents. It's just something that it may not be easy. It may not be convenient. And it's probably not going to feel good, but it is for the better. And I mean, it is biblical that we are like, our sufferings are not for our own. We ought to share it with others. Like, how many times have we gone through something and we felt alone? And then somebody says something that resonates and you're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, why don't you think that you're that for somebody or somebody's? Because we all are. And so really, soul remission is just like pausing, take a pause, think about what you just read, and like, how are you going to take the accountability to apply that to change your life?
Listen, I don't even know what to say. Like, the way you start off the chapter, the way you start off the epilogue, you say still. Right there, somebody needed to pick me up off the floor. Okay.
You know what?
Seriously, I had a whole black church moment. I just fell out because seriously, but Sam, like you just said, we never are encouraged to be still. Chase, you know what I'm saying? Secure the bag, grind, chase we are never told it's okay to be still and do nothing but be still.
Right.
And I sincerely believe that opening line is going to like literally break chains, because we are never ever told in media and entertainment and books in anything for Black women to just be still.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so you go on to talk about, you know, ways to be still and things, but just the word, just reading the word still, it was like, wait, me? Oh, like literally, I clutched like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And so you go on and, you know, you share so much more, but you also share some amazing poetry in this book as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about the poetry up in here.
Poetry is actually how I first started to write. It was the easiest thing for me. It was concise way for me to get my feelings out. So I just had a little book when I was like in high school, and I would just like write, you know, poems here and there, and not thinking that it was going to be anything.
Yeah.
And then I remember my mom had a friend who lost her son, and my mom asked me, like, she commissioned me to write poetry, which was weird because it wasn't something that was really supported. So I was like, oh, okay. And I did. And I remember that was like, I wrote 2 poems, one for the mother, one for the daughter. And that was when I knew God was like, this is something that this is part of your purpose. And it wasn't something that I was necessarily comfortable with. I think I was more comfortable writing like journalistic stuff, because the emotional part of writing is so daunting. But God never lies, and here we are.
Yes.
A couple books in. So yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And it's I have a confession. So, you know, everyone submitted a number of poems, right? And we had to select which ones we felt fit in, you know, in the book. And so Mel and I are going through my MV pen, and I are going through, and she's like, there is a poem that Sam wrote that's not here. And I'm like, oh, I know, I decided no. That needs to be here. So much so she read it to me twice. In other words, you're not hearing it, Tima. It needs to be in this book.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, let me read it again from the flow of the book. And when I did, I said, Mel is right. How could I not put this in here? It fits so perfectly with everything else that has been shared and said in the book. Wow. And so I said, I have to share that with you.
I love that.
I was like, oh,
thanks,
I don't
Mel. Yes, girl.
But Mel was like, she's like, no.
Clown.
And she, look, she even read it. She was like, let me read it for you.
It's an auditory thing. Let me read it to you.
Because it's not registering how important it is to have this in the book.
Oh,
so I said I was going to share that with you, because
I love that.
When I finally did read it, you know, with the rest and the cadence of the book, I was like, okay, Mel is so right. This has to be in here. And so I so appreciate you blessing us with not just the epilogue and that strong, powerful chapter, but also with those poems. So I just want you to share again. I know we've kept the people, and I know you got to get to your future husband, okay? But I would love for you to share, you know, what this journey has been like. You have been here from day one, A1 from day one. You have been a part of these projects and this growth and the transformation of all these amazing women that God is continuing to bring in and out of the diamond community.
Yes.
What has it been like for you?
Oh gosh. Freeing, you know, it's like we're 3 books in, and Pretty Broken for me was like finally sharing my story. And that was sharing like the abuse, the brokenness, me finally standing up for like my worth, breaking generational curses. And then we move into Beneath the Crown, which for me was more about how did I take accountability of my life to ensure that I'm living in the purpose that Christ has promised me. And then honestly, when we were talking about valid transparency, I was like, I don't know if I have anything left. I don't know, Tima. I was like, it feels like it's dry. But when we were talking and I was just, sharing about just almost needing a permission slip to heal, that's when Tima was like, oh, I hear it. And I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. It's as little and as minute as it might seem for someone to be like, you can and you should, with no guilt, none whatsoever. Like the time, the quiet time, the journaling time that you want for yourself, you have got to treat it just like you would a business meeting with someone else. You would not stand them up. You would not cancel. Like, you have to give it to yourself before you can expect to find it anywhere else. That's just it. And until we get to a place where we can do that and be that for not only ourselves, but one another, and to pour that into generations, we'll be stagnant. And so even being able to write in these 3 books has shown just the growth. And I co-sign on everybody talking about journaling. I have journals and journals and journals. My daughter's like, Mom, you have so many. They're like volumes. And I'm like, yeah, but when I read and I look back, like, you see the growth. Like, you truly can. You can't remember everything. And a lot of my chapter in Beneath the Crown were journal prompts, like truly just like prayers and journal prompts where I was like, this pain, it feels surreal. Like, I don't feel like I'm ever going to get out of this. And to be able to write to it and know that not only did I get out of it, but like I blossomed out of it. That's what journaling allows you to do, is to truly see evidence of growth, change, and grace.
Come on. She came with a word, okay? Did she come with a word or not? Like, girl, but you're so right. And I so appreciate all of the diamonds who echoed, the significance of journaling, because I know I sound like a broken record when I'm talking to my newer diamonds who are not familiar with our process. I'm like, you got to journal, because like you said, it's evidence. Yes. It is literally you witnessing to yourself. When you go back to read where you were, it's humbling. Where you are now,
oh, it's humbling.
Like, not only is it humbling, but it's like God is real.
Yeah, you feel so grateful.
People,
yeah.
If you need evidence that the Lord exists and He has His hand on your life, read your journal entries.
Absolutely.
From 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6.
Because you are living in the prayers that you were praying. You are living in those tear-stained prayers like every day. And so
every day.
Absolutely.
Every day. So thank you for just, reaffirming and confirming what we said about journaling.
Of course. It's real. Yes.
It's so real. It's so real. So look, what do you hope people take away from your chapter? What do you want readers to really, what do you want it to resonate with them?
I want them to find pieces of themselves. And I think we're always so caught up in like the generalization of finding ourselves, not understanding that we are multidimensional and multifaceted, and that's okay. And that should be embraced. And if we accept our worth and our purpose and journey almost in tears, we'll be able to be more of a whole person instead of feeling like we've got to get from 0 to 100 like right now. There might be parts of your life that are just more refined than others, and that's okay. Allow that growth to help you have discipline in another area. Like it's all like connected, and we just got to give ourselves like grace and patience, but also discipline and accountability. No more. That's just the way I am. Baby, it's not. That's just the way that you choose to be. And that's fine. But like, don't turn around and complain. You know what I mean? When them consequences are coming, you got to live as loudly in those consequences as you are and not trying to change. And so there is accountability in our growth, even if things have happened to us. There are things that we've done to ourselves. And a lot of times we skip that over because we're trying so hard to deflect. We need to reflect.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. That is so good, honey. That was a whole word. That is not how you are. That is how you choose to be. Come on, somebody.
Listen,
Listen, Sam is going to. That's all I'm gonna say. What's she going to do? I don't know. You customize, but Sam is going to when she shows
you're
up.
not.
Okay. Just know that. Sam's going to. Dot dot dot. But Sam, please tell all our gems and gents how they can connect with you. How can they reach you and support you beyond today?
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Sam_22, and just connect with me and we can just lift each other up.
Yes, I'm telling y'all, this is someone you want to connect with. This is a jewel, a gem, a diamond.
I
I
love
am so
you.
grateful that you made it tonight. Thank you
Of
so
course.
much
I was
again.
gonna miss it.
I'm telling you, I could not. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do the show if she doesn't anchor the show. If she anchored the book, I had. You know how I am. But I love you to pieces.
I
Thank
love
you for
you.
continuing to be a part of this journey with us.
Of course.
Congratulations. I know you have some amazing things happening in your life. Your Diamond sisters are cheering for you. We're rooting for
Thank
you.
you.
We're
Thank
celebrating
you.
you. We are championing you. And Sam, until I get to see you and wrap my arms around you,
Yes,
continue to write and shine.
absolutely.
I love
Love
you,
you.
girl.
Bye.
Bye. All right, gems, gents, listen, y'all had enough of me tonight. I know y'all sick of me. I know y'all ready to go, but I just wanted to leave you with some final words, which is one, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for continuing to support the Diamond Writers and the Transparent Gem Inc. community. It is really, really hard work what we do, but we continue to do it because we believe in the power of healing through words and releasing through writing. And so, look, if that's you, ladies, my gems, if you have a story to tell and you are like, you know what, it's time, I'm ready, go ahead and reach out to us at info@diamondwriters.com. You can also go to our website and click on Write With Us to get more information about how you can share your story in our next anthology. To all of my beautiful diamonds, thank you for continuing to shine with me. Thank you for continuing to support this vision and to hold me accountable for what God has called me to do through this community. Last but not least, thank you to my two baby girls who are my inspiration and the reason for my stories, as well as my amazing parents and siblings. Thank you all. To my VP, once again, love you to life. To my Diamond leadership team, thank you for continuing to deal with me and serve with me. I'll see y'all tomorrow at our weekly call. And until next time, to all of my hustlers and my shiners, y'all continue to hustle and shine. Mwah. Good night.